I just go in there and make a smash hit. But imagine stuck in the house on quarantine with a studio. It's about to get bad out here. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, the one and only Snoop
And you
D-O-double-G.
know if I answer, things will never be the same, never be the same. What up, Fat Joe?
Yo, Snoop, you missed how I came in. I came in with, I always love my mama.
Hey, she
She's
broke
my
me in
favorite
this
girl. You
world.
only get one, you only
You only
get
get
one.
one
Yeah.
girl.
Hey,
You
yo,
know I love
Snoop.
my mama. What's up, Joey?
I love you, my brother.
Man, I love you more today than I did yesterday, correct?
Wow, that's a fact, though. That's a fact, man. You know, I'm sitting with my daughter earlier, and she's watching me, sad, reminiscing about Andre Harrell and his contributions. And I'm looking at my daughter, looking at me, and I said, man, 20 years from now, my daughter's going to look back and tell her friends when she's 30 years old, she's going to be like, yo, I watched my father's whole generation die on Instagram during this corona thing. I mean, it feels like every day, Little Richard, a greater and greater and greater and greater person dies every day, Snoop.
Yeah, man, but that's the beauty of life, that you know that there is death at the end of life, and there's always a rebirth at the end of death. And something always comes out of death that's beautiful. And as sad as it is, it's always been like that since the beginning of time. And we just got to celebrate the life that they lived and the beauty that they brought and the joy that they brought and the lessons that they left. Andre Harrell was such a great person. Just if you knew him, if you knew his energy, anytime you was around him, he was a information guru. He loved to give you information on who you were and where you were trying to go, just because he had so much wisdom. I love being around him. I love being a sponge to all of the game that he gave me, in the way that he was always loving towards me, even when the East and the West Coast wasn't seeing eye to eye. Me and him always see eye to eye.
Yeah, man, because I know I seen Pac was rocking out with Jodeci. Pac at the prime of the beef. However you want it. Like Pac was rocking out with Jodeci. That was Uptown right there.
Man,
They was going.
Uptown was a part of our youth, man. Like from Teddy Riley to Heavy D to Father MC, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Redhead Kingpin, Guy, to everything that they put out, it affected us on the West Coast. You got to know that. Like their music was like dialogue for us. It was like either certain moments that was triumphant for us in the streets or in school or just in life in general. So Uptown Records is to be heralded as one of the greatest fucking labels ever created.
By far. I'm gonna tell you a secret that I never really discussed publicly, but this is maybe a Joker moment. Uh, when Biggie was working on his album, I used to go to the studio. They had the Chronic album was the blueprint to the sound of Bad Boy and to the making of Biggie's album. They would listen to it first for like an hour or two, then they start cooking up. Who was y'all blueprint when y'all were making music like Doggy Style and the Chronic album?
That's crazy that you say that, because Biggie called me to the studio when they was working on his second record, and he played me a particular record that made me feel like he did what you said. But when we made music, we basically I drew from like my experiences from the 70s, like the musicians of the 70s that made music with real musicians that really sung, that really had vocals live, that really could articulate their vocals after the record. So I was inspired by a lot of great musicians that made great records. If it was a Marvin Gaye or Teddy Pendergrass, Al Green, Curtis Mayfield, that's the music I listened to. And I felt like I was that type of artist in the studio. I wanted precision. I wanted my vocals to be clean. I wanted my words to be heard thoroughly. I wanted to make sure it was a message that you felt more than you heard.
Let me tell you something, Snoop. You're so humble. You're so cool. But Nori said you're the most famous rapper on the planet Earth, and I agree with him. How does it feel to be the most famous rapper on the planet Earth?
Wow. I mean, it's how do you describe it when that's who you are? When you walk in that walk and you live in that life and you really never get a chance to step outside of those shoes to see the feeling. It's just me being me, and me being me since I was a kid was always being the one that would go out and meet people. Like, for example, if my mom would take me and my brothers to visit somebody and we was in a different neighborhood and they'd be like, go outside and play. I would go outside and play and meet the whole neighborhood, and before you know it, we come back over there and everybody know me, I know them, and we best of friends, and we didn't went to high school together, and we were reminiscing about when we was 9 years old and I came on their street, fought three of them dudes and became cool with all of them. That's the type of person that I was. I was always up close and personal. So when I got in the rap game, every rapper that I loved, I went and I told him I loved him. Every artist that I appreciated, I went and told him that, and that love was given back to me. That I feel like, as far as the karma, when you give love, you get love.
That is a fact. And when I look at you, you're one of the few guys who's able to have my daughter, who just turned 14 years old 2 days ago, and a OG 60, 70 years old love Snoop Dogg. When I told my brother-in-law in Colombia, he said, "You got LS Snoopy? He's gonna be smoking a big one." I swear to God, Luis Miguel Colombia Pereira. He told me
Viva
LS
Colombia!
Snoopy gonna be smoking a big one. Like,
Let me start all over again for your brother, man. Let me start all over again, man. Let me start all over, Joe.
yo, Snoop, let me tell you something, man. I got the privilege to go on tour with you in Australia.
Lord have mercy.
And let me tell you, yo, Snoop, they would tell me, they said you go to jail for smoking weed there. We get into some hotel, we go up to your suite, because every night your suite was like out of this world. It was a fucking block long. It was like we all wanted to see, all the rappers wanted to see Snoop Dogg's room. So we go up there. I'm talking about big rappers. I'm talking about The Game, Nelly, Busta, you know, like big motherfuckers. And we go up to your room, and I remember they was like, yo, if they smoke, you go to jail. And then the owner of the fucking hotel comes out and pulls out a blunt and tells you to spark it up, and he passes it to you. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess it's legal to smoke in this room.
Right. And we was in Australia. Remember the hotel? We was in the Versace Hotel.
Yo, it was so hard.
7-star hotel.
Yo, Snoop, it was so hard for me not to steal a blanket or a pillow.
Nigga, what makes you think I didn't steal a few blankets and pillows? If you don't knock it off.
Yo, Snoop, I was scared to steal a blanket.
I had to do it, Joe. I had to. I stole some plates, glasses, silverware, all kind of shit. Nigga, I'm Versace'd up around this motherfucker. No, but the beauty of that tour was the promoter had got with me and said, man, look, I don't know none of these rappers like that, and I feel like I think you should take the lead. So I said, check it out. Get me a big-ass suite. I'm going to have them all come up to my room. We're going to smoke some weed. We're going to play some video games. I know all of these niggas personally, and whatever issues that you think we may have, we're going to end that right now by having fun, celebrating, eating, drinking, powwow before we even get on the stage so we can break bread, so we can all know that we love each other. Some of these niggas got personal relationships anyway. And if you pull a video game out, you create a real love because we all like competitive. And when we put that video game out there, that shit was so competitive. Didn't you win it all?
Oh, no, I won. I won.
You won it all.
No, I won a
you,
couple games.
You a bad motherfucker. You walked away with some money,
nigga. Bow Wow, the only guy I know play video games with charging and shit like come on.
Man, Bow Wow was taking charges, cuz that was some soft ass shit.
That's some bullshit. Nobody take charges.
That nigga was taking charges all game. Like, he wasn't even playing defense. He was just taking charges. Remember he made us play on PlayStation 2. We had to switch from Xbox to PlayStation to make that nigga happy.
Yo, Bow Wow, crazy. Yo, let me tell you, I don't know why. In that tour, they put him next door to me every show. And he would knock on my door, and he was practicing for some acting shit. I'd be in there an hour trying to go to sleep like this. Bow Wow was trying out for some movie.
But look at now, he did it, Joe. He did it. Look, he did it though, right?
No, he did it.
From there to there. But you know what that shit was like? It was like we was all a family, and we was all brothers, and he was like the baby brother. Because remember, Nelly used to always pull him to the side and talk to him and try to give him advice. And then Nelly was such a gambler. This nigga be gambling like crazy. Then he won one night. The nigga won like 15,000. He came back in my room and gave me and my wife like 7,000. Was like, here, man, take the 7 racks and woo wop boo bop. And me and my wife had a lovely time that night.
I couldn't believe it. I'll tell you all the time how she put up with 30 guys in a room, everybody smoking blunts all times of night, and you was like, yo, Joe, she been doing this since I started day one.
That's my ace. That's my ace cone boom. My wife is my backbone. She been with all of the G shit. She been around me and all of my niggas. She know who I am, what I am. That's why she's the only one. You dig?
Right. That's right. The boss lady. The boss lady.
Now.
The boss lady. Let me
Shout
tell
out
you
to
something, Snoop.
DJ Eric B in the motherfucking house.
Shout out Eric B. I love you, Eric B. Eric B. been having a tough time. He lost his daughter. I don't even know what that's like. Erica, one of his best friends, rap from Brooklyn. We just saw this versus battle. We had this show on hold. It usually comes on 3 hours earlier, but we kept it on hold so we could see this versus battle. What did you get out of this battle with these ladies, these legends, these beautiful mamas, man? What did you take from this battle?
First of all, my African Nubian queens delivered such a
African Nubian queens.
Wow, they fulfilled my dreams by dropping such a hell of an introduction before they even played a record, with all of that information and that knowledge and those voices of women empowerment and just all of that strength. And then they started playing those timeless records, and they loved each other. And Erykah Badu's hot record was written by Jill Scott, and she didn't even know her. And just the love that they had, just saying sisters love each other instead of fighting each other and downgrading each other, but giving each other love. That was the highlight for me, to see the love that they had for each other and how the music that they made us all love them that much more. It was timeless.
No gimmicks, no interruptions, no biting up nobody else's ear, nobody doing the Mike Tyson to Holyfield, and the numbers was through the roof. 800,000 people.
But Joe, it's love. See, the thing I love about the verses that the verses is not about, I'm a battle Fat Joe. Fuck Fat Joe. I don't like that nigga. Fuck you, Snoop Dogg. And nigga, your records wasn't shit. If it's gonna be a verses, it should be Fat Joe. Nigga, I love that nigga. I remember when I was in his video. I remember when we did this together. Let's play this song when we did this. Let's talk about when we was over here. Let's bring up this and that. So it's a love thing at the end of the day, when you see two artists celebrating each other, not downgrading each other.
Man, they so bad, man. They so bad, man. And I never knew, and shame on me, I never knew Erykah Badu was a rapper first.
If you listen to her, she sound like it though.
She rapping the whole time. So every one of her songs, she's MCing every time. But today she said, I rap first, and then I started saying, and I was like, holy shit, every song she ever rapped. But it looked like motherfucking Tyrone pulled that plug on her ass.
Yeah, he did. Tyrone was sick of that shit.
One time for the guys.
But yo, Tyrone in this motherfucker.
Yo, Tyrone said, fuck that, man. I'm tired of you
this shit.
You shit on me in every quiet storm across the world. Fuck that, man. Tyrone had that shit. He pulled the plug, man.
He pulled that. He threw water on the plug.
Yo, Snoop, I was bugging. I said, yo, this is unbelievable. This shit turned off.
Man, it was beautiful.
This shit, you know, I had Puffy here. Puffy came. He said he called me the Puerto Rican Oprah Jopra, right?
Right.
Because I was asking him that shit, and he said here that he would celebration against Dr. Dre.
I don't think that's Dr. Dre's lane. Like, that's not his vehicle. You know, certain people are built for the octagon that can present it and deliver it and do all of those things that come along with it. He got the hits. That ain't the question. He got the catalog that can go up against anybody. But it's as far as like the comfort zone of being able to deliver it, to speak on it, to give those experiences of when you made those records, what it meant to you. I don't know if that's cuz Vehicle being a close friend to him. I don't see him being that outgoing and that active on Instagram like that to actually cross that line the way Puff has always been that guy that's up close and personal with his fans and can give you that and carry the load and throw the best fucking parties the world ever seen in life on Instagram everywhere he go. So that's the only thing that I think that may cripple the event. And I was speaking to Swizz about it. Like maybe if you throw Snoop Dogg in the ring first, that may make him want to. You understand me?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg, who the fuck gonna go against Snoop Dogg? I heard 50 Cent talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? He like, yo, I think I should go up against Snoop. You
That's
know what
my
I'm saying?
is my
And,
nigga though. That's my guy. You know.
oh, no. We love 50 Cent. But Snoop Dogg?
I don't know. I mean, who on the level of Snoop Dogg? It's hard for me to say because I look at everybody as equals. I don't look at nobody as less than me.
Yeah,
So
but you the biggest rapper in the world. Like, who the fuck, like, really honestly, like, who can honestly
but we
go up against
talking
Snoop
about
Dogg?
20, only talking about 20 rounds. That's just 20 bullets, you know what I'm saying, that you got based off your catalog.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum,
Well, if you
bum,
ask me,
ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum.
if you ask me, when I first came in the rap game, Ice Cube was the king of the West Coast, right?
Facts.
And off the top. So that was my mission to try to get where he was. And I finally got to the point to where I became the king of the West Coast, to where it was known, like everybody knew, okay, Snoop is the one now. So looking across the bridge, it was the East Coast that was always the number one to me, that I was always looking to try to get at. And when I came in the game, the number one East Coast nigga, it was not one. It was a variety of them. And then Biggie started to make a rise, but Nas was on the rise with him. So it was like, it was never like who was the one. And then Biggie passed away. And then Nas had it for a minute. And then Jay-Z took it and ran with it for a numerous amount of years. And then 50 Cent came and ran with it for a numerous amount of years. This is me looking in from the outside, looking at New York rap. So to me, it would be either a Snoop versus Jay-Z, because he has been the king of New York around the time I've been the king of the
Stay
West.
right there. Stay right there. That sounds like the ultimate battle. Snoop Dogg against Jay-Z. Now, I don't know if Jay-Z will do it because he's kind of like Dr. Dre, how you were saying.
Right.
You know, Jay-Z, we love him, but Jay-Z, introvert, quiet, you know what I mean? But Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, even though I'm not taking nothing away from 50, I just know that when your boat goes down and you got to swim ashore, it's a long swim. You understand what I'm saying? So Snoop Dogg been doing it 25 years.
92, he been swimming since 92. And he just had a number one hit last year, Smile Bitch with Lil Duval.
You see what I'm saying?
And I got it right now with Banda MS that's blowing up on the Latin charts right now.
You see what I'm saying, Snoop? So this is a hard thing. Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg will be a real epic battle. Jay-Z, 50 Cent too, don't get me. I'm not taking nothing from 50 Cent. I'm just saying once you get to like that 15th song, like run me 5 songs you're gonna play off Rick.
Off of Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg, 5 songs off the beginning. And I'm gonna play the first one, Deep Cover. Deep Cover, Snoop Dogg. Take it from there. Give me 4 more off the first 4.
G-Thing. Drop it like it's hot.
Yo, Snoop, that ain't fair, man. This
Gin and juice.
Yeah. Gin and juice. Yo.
Then I'm gonna tone it down. I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. Sensual Seduction.
Sexual seduction.
Yeah, look,
you do the fly. Yo, Snoop, man, you're not fair for nobody, to be honest with you, man. Shout out to Afro B, my African brother here. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. Yo,
Hey,
hey, Snoop.
Pharrell taught me how to talk to women on that song. I didn't know how to talk to women till Pharrell showed me how on that Beautiful record. That's real shit. Like I used to always
Cause
just
you
be
was
like,
like,
bitch.
bitches ain't shit but
Yeah,
hoes and
you know
tricks.
that Pharrell was like, man, women love you, man. You gotta be able to, make your penmanship, give them some love. Don't you love your wife? Don't you love your mother? Don't you? He started breaking me down like that to where it was like my pen had to write about me loving a beautiful woman as opposed to me downgrading a woman.
Let me tell you something. You had me disrespecting women for a long time, Snoop Dogg. Like I
Don't blame
thought,
that
like,
shit on me, Joe. Don't blame that shit
nah.
on
I
me.
thought the fly shit. Shout out to Hitmaker. I thought like we had to just shit. You know what I'm saying? I had a record called "This Is for the Hoes." That was a Snoop Dogg inspired tune right there. You know? Hey, yo, Snoop, the way I promoted this is I had you in the deep cover video where you turned around and you said, hey, yo, Big Pun, I see you got a snitch in your camp. Get out here. And we did the Twins deep cover, the dead in the middle, little. Man, Snoop, man, when you did that for us, man, shout out to Chris Robinson. You shot that in your garage.
Yeah.
You know how big that was for, East Coast, West Coast tension?
But
Do you
Joe, how many times have we met before that?
Me and you?
Yeah.
We met maybe 2 times before that.
Right. So it was solidified. La Familia.
La Familia, man. That was that.
That's what I mean. I was familiar with you. You was familiar with me. So it was only family for me to do it.
Yeah, man. That was beautiful, man.
And I was trying to break the stereotype back then because remember it was real hard for East and West to do shit. And I was like one of them niggas. I was like, fuck that. I love them niggas over there. I'm finna go do that with him. I'm finna go fuck with him. I'm finna go fuck with him and fuck what y'all niggas think.
Let me tell you something, Snoop. When it comes to an ambassador of hip hop, shout out to Timbo the King, Timberland on the check. And when it comes to an ambassador of hip hop, nobody's better than you. And one thing I'm having a problem with is I'm getting older. I don't like getting old, Snoop. But somehow it looks like you embrace the shit. And it's like, you just take it how you take it. Like, what I got to do to say to myself, Joe Crack, you getting old, calm down. Because Snoop Dogg don't give a fuck.
You know what, Joe? I think once you learn to embrace who you are and stay who you are at all times and learn to love you, you take that shit everywhere you go, my nigga. Like, I had to learn how to just be me, man. Like, even the way I raised my kids in real life. You know what I'm saying? Not in no fake shit. Like, I talk to them as kids the way I talk to them as adults. So it was never like foreign language to them when they heard me give them information on what they need to be doing in life and how they need to be doing it. So we maintain a relationship to where we like friends now. And a lot of times when you got kids and you raise them, they outgrow you and they don't want to be personal with you. They don't want to share shit with you because they feel like you was too hard on them. And I always wanted to maintain a relationship with my kids to where they would be open with me and share shit with me because they were kids that was given everything. And I watched kids that was given everything like self-destruct. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have to work for shit. But I wanted my kids to understand that I work for everything that they got. So when the day comes for you to work, have that same instillment that I have in myself that I put in you.
Let me ask you something, Snoop. It's good that you stay there. And if I'm overstepping my boundary, you stop me in 1 second. But so like everyone knows you for smoking weed and all that. I don't smoke weed, but you smoke weed. What was it like, or has it ever been like for one of your kids to say, yo, dad, let me smoke with you when they growing up, 16, 17? This is a big challenge for parents around the world because a lot of parents smoke weed, but they don't want their kids to smoke. But did that happen to you?
Man, that's crazy you said that because I was at motherfucking Mario Van People's house and we was shooting something. We was shooting a movie at his house and he had a bunch of teenagers and shit at his house. That's when YG was young too. YG was in the movie too. And he had like his little son back room that he was letting me use for like my little VIP area. So, you know, naturally, I'm in there smoking and shit. His son about 17, 18. His son ain't getting down, but all of the teenagers in the movie, they in there smoking. Now a bunch of little rappers then showed up. So I'm in there smoking. I ain't paying attention, but my kids is here. My oldest son is in there. So we smoking. Next thing I know, somebody passed me a joint, and it's my oldest son. And I look at him, and I can't even say nothing to him because I've been smoking with the rest of these teenagers. So I take it, and I smoke with him, and I'm like, I gotta accept it, because what kind of father would I be to try to chastise him when I just been smoking right in front of him, and I see it ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing wrong. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He's doing it in front of me. I'd rather him do it in front of me than behind me, because now I can show him the proper way of doing it. So now that he's smoking with me, he's watching how much I'm smoking. When I get back to work, I'm not smoking. When I go back to shooting my scenes, I'm on point. I'm delivering my lines. I'm getting on my shit to where he can see, okay, it's a difference between being a drug addict and somebody that's relaxing themselves before he going back to work. So now my kids understand the dynamics of, I'm not going to be a drug addict. I'm just going to relax myself before I go handle my business.
Yo, Snoop, boy, I've been spoken like a true G, man. Let me tell you something. Yo, Snoop, let me tell you something. That is great, because I think about it often. You know, I got a couple of my friends that are my brothers, like brothers, and they smoke all the time, like in front of the kids. And I wonder to myself, and you know, I'm like a virgin. You know, I don't smoke, but I wonder to myself, what's gonna happen the day when little such and such is gonna be like, yo, dad passed the blunt. And that's why, you know, I thought
But
about
do
asking you
you
that.
think anything's wrong with smoking?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I don't think nothing wrong. It can't be nothing wrong. What happened to me is I smoked one time, Snoop, and I ran out the crib butt naked, middle of the night. Fat Joe the rapper. I ran out the crib naked.
Okay, see, but
Facts.
look at Fat Joe the rapper drinking that wine, right? Like me and wine, we don't agree like that.
I drank the wine just to be cool with Snoop Dogg because I
But
don't
see how you,
smoke.
but you can handle it though, like a nip of that. I'm gone, because I got Indian in me. You understand me? You heard of the Navajo tribe? I'm from the Navajo tribe. You understand me? So when I get a little bit of alcohol in me, I get to acting crazy.
Oh my God. Yo, Snoop, let me tell you something, man. So let me tell you, I ran out the house butt naked. And the girl came up on me because I smoked with a girl. You know, she pulled up on me. She was in my white Lexus. She was like, yo, get in the car. I was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to have a heart attack. I got to go to the hospital. I'm dying. So the girl gassed me to get in the car. We went around the block back in the crib, and I took like 10 cold showers. And I started laughing for like an hour, but I never did this shit again. And
How do you
every
take
night,
10 cold showers, nigga? Did you get out the shower, turn it off,
yeah, I
get
was
back in?
bugging, bro. I was, yo, Snoop, trust me, I'm traumatized. And I went in and out the shower. I kept taking a shower. And then I started laughing for like a whole hour. And I said, yo, I'm chilling. And
Joe,
now
that
when I go to
wasn't
the
Joe.
studio,
Joe, that wasn't weed, man. That was some other shit, man. Come on, Neff. That was some other shit, man. Look, you done been around me many times with me smoking, and you got secondhand smoking. You ain't never acted like that.
no, I've been a secondhand smoke motherfucker for real, though. Like,
Right. And
I
it
leave
just
the studio. Let me tell you something. I leave the studio every night smelling like a giant weed. And
and
I say, when the police stop me, there's no way I'm going to be able to convince them I ain't smoked no weed. I smell like a pound of weed. All
hey,
day, every day, they like this.
so that lets you know that that's not what gave you that effect. Because the secondhand smoke is worse than the first-hand smoke. And that's first off.
Yo, Snoop, man, let me tell you something, bro. Man, my brother, man, I love you so much, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to DJ Khaled is on here, DJ Nasty on here.
Another one.
Man, this DJ Khaled is something else, huh?
Look, man, look, Khaled, is one guy that I truly love being his friend. I love his energy. I love his come up, his hustle, his fatherhood, his mentorship, all of that shit. Like, he's the perfect gentleman. Like, that's like when I seen that shit pop up on Instagram the other day when Baby tried to show her booty to him, and he was like, "Oh no, no." I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, me and you would have been like, hold on, let me see a little bit more before you turn that off.
No, you know, a girl did it to me last night. I went like this. Stop. Talk to me normal. Stop. Talk to me normal. Please. Hey, yo, Snoop, I did this one, though. Like, stop. Talk to me normal, my family. I got love.
I don't want to see it.
No, I don't want to see it. Please. No, it's out of here. This quarantine shit is serious out here. Coronavirus killing our people. Blacks and Latinos the most. What could you say about this coronavirus? We can end it like that, Snoop, because what speak on the coronavirus.
I think we should just be a little bit more sharper with our movements. A lot of people quick to get out just because they say you can get out. But I think you should wait and understand where you're getting out to and why you should get out and when is the right time to get out. You know, if you don't see the NBA, the NFL, and things of that nature moving, then you shouldn't be moving like that, because those are the biggest figures in the world right now that, you know, we waiting on them to see what's going to happen with the season or whatnot. And if they're not moving, we shouldn't move so quick and just play it by ear and just make our moves precise. And if we do get out, make sure that we're wearing masks and gloves and protecting ourselves and not bringing it back to the house. And if we is, washing our hands and doing all of the things that we need to do to protect ourselves, just to be precautious, because it's safe. It's better to be safe than to be sorry, man.
Man, I love you, Snoop Dogg, man. Thank you for stopping by, man. This was the late version of the Fat Joe Show, the biggest show in the game. This is the biggest one. You know what I'm saying? And we love you. I appreciate you. You've always been 1,000, not even 100. You've been 1,000 with me. And the game loves you. You're beyond a living legend. You're a king. You're an icon. You're a god on earth. And I love you. You hear me?
I love you back, Joey, and you already know it, man.
LBC, nigga, West Coast, nigga.
South Bronx. South Bronx. South Bronx.
I love you, man. I love you, man. There you have it, Snoop Doggy, 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 Dog. The big, 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 big show. The biggest one in the game. Timbo the King.
Why you got me on here, man? I just want to enjoy the show.
Nah, yo, Timbo, shout out to Jimmy. Timbo the King, the creator, co-creator of the Versus Battle. I mean, celebration of life, celebration of culture. Timbo.
Yo.
Celebration of life. What tonight? What you thought about the celebration of life?
You know, I went to a lot of concerts in my life, and I seen a lot of things in my life. But tonight, the way I felt, I ain't never felt like this in a long time, man. The last time I felt like this when I saw the Fat Boys, when I was like 10 years old. Fat boy.
Boy,
you know,
boy.
You know what I'm saying? With the, you know what I'm saying? That's when I started beatboxing. I started learning. But tonight, you know, I'm sitting there listening to the Queens talk, and I'm like, yo, we gotta love our women more. We gotta big up our women more. Like, the shit that they go through. We just, you know, as men, we don't, you know, we men. We look at things different. But some of the songs and them words, and I heard them songs a million times, but it's like tonight I heard it different. And I was like, I was in tears and in joy, laughing, and I was sad. I was like, what the fuck is going on with me? But it's just the power of a woman.
This battle wasn't just about, of course they play hits, but I felt like it wasn't about just hits. It was about them as instruments, man. and them showing sisterhood, and when you read these women's face and you hear the music, you realize how many of us has hurt these women like that because it's coming from a pain, man.
And to hear those songs and what they went through dealing with us is like, wow. It was a beautiful
we really
thing
did
tonight.
that.
Yeah. It was a beautiful thing tonight. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful thing. I went and download the music again, and I already had it, but it made me go back and say, let me go listen to this in quarantine and really appreciate what's in front of me, because I might don't really appreciate what's in front of me. I don't want to be dead and gone and be like, damn, this was in front of me and I didn't love it the way I should love it.
Right about now, it's the time to appreciate everything, man. Shout out Pat Poose, Black Love in the building. I just, you know, I love them both. You know what I mean? But I love them both. But I underestimated Jill Scott. Jill Scott vocally, she's a problem. She's a major.
Yo, tonight she was going. She was in a bag that I was like.
It was a different bag.
Yeah, it
was a different bag, man. It was different. Timbo, I appreciate what you're doing for the people. You and Swiss Beats with the versus battle, celebration of life. Could we get a hint towards who we thinking we going with next?
Nelly and Luda. Yeah. Andre,
you know, I can tell you what they say behind your back because you wasn't there. Motherfuckers know. Timbo the King. Timbo coming with that shit. Somebody dizzy if they sleeping on Timbo the King. The Timbo the King. You know, when you battle Swiss, how this whole shit started, I was scared for Swiss. You know, Swiss my brother. He on the Mount Rushmore. I was scared for him. I was like, yo, how you gonna go up against the King?
Easy, man, because that nigga's a king. He a king. And y'all saw it that night. I knew what he was because I pay attention. I knew who to celebrate with.
Yo, but look how it turned into that. With this coronavirus, man, you guys are leading the way with the positivity. You guys are shining the light on the brothers and sisters who paid the way, who made timeless music that might have been lost, man, and you shining the light on them. You know, the babyface Teddy Riley, things that never, the internet wasn't ready for that. IG wasn't ready for that, man. They broke the
No,
shit.
they wasn't.
They
They
broke it.
wasn't.
Now
They
it's
wasn't.
ready. Now these ladies had 800,000, you know,
Yeah.
clean. No problem. No glitches. No problem. They had it.
They had it. They had it. And I'm glad they had it. I'm glad they had their moment. Yo, it was girls' night tonight. I'm proud of the ladies.
Beautiful, man. I'm proud of them, and I watched them all night, and I love them. I love you, Timbo. Stay up, my brother.
All right, my brother. Love you,
One
Joe.
love. Timbo,
The
the
Joker
king.
Show.
The Joker Show. The Joker Show. Yo, Khaled, where you at? You want to check in? Khaled, where you at? Listen, man. God is great. Put God first. Monday, I come back 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 LA time. This is the biggest show on earth without twerking and showing titties. If you want to be informed, if you want to know about the culture, if you want to learn about the coronavirus, whatever, we got doctors, we got all type of people. We talking about real life shit here. It's lit. It's the Fat Joe Show. P. Diddy, Papa Puff, named it the Joker Show. We take Sundays off because Sunday's over. You're my Chick-fil-A. Sunday closed. You're my Chick-fil-A. You know, and I'm working too hard on bringing Kanye West to the show. Next week, Adrian Bailar Tanashi. Tuesday, my brother Kenya from Black as Fuck. Wednesday, Mama Africa, Akon. We go to Senegal, Africa. Mama Africa, can you hear me? Love you guys, all the ladies. Happy Mother's Day. God bless you. Stay safe. God is great. God got us. Peace, y'all.